All right, let's jump right in today. We're going to do a deep dive into Jump Attack by Tim Grover. Unlocking that elite athletic power, the stuff we always hear about with guys like Michael Jordan.
And that's an important point, because while jump attack draws from techniques used at that elite level, the principles really apply to anyone, regardless of where they're starting from. It's about enhancing athletic capabilities across the board.
I have to admit, when I first saw the title, I thought, okay, we're talking vertical leap, like how high can you jump? But it goes beyond that, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's much broader. Jump attack dives into multi-directional jumping, that sustained athleticism, not just jumping high once, but throughout a game, a performance, whatever it may be.
So it's not just about that single isolated burst, but maintaining that power over time.
Exactly. And to achieve that, the book focuses a lot on specific muscle activation and training the whole body to really work together.
Like a well-oiled machine where all the parts are contributing to that powerful movement.
Perfect analogy. And what's interesting is it's not just about increasing how high you can jump, but also that ability to jump repeatedly, to absorb impact when you land, and to rebound quickly. So it's continuous.
I'm picturing that like over and over, not just one big leap, but that constant spring-loaded action.
And there's a lot of science behind it. The book explains how specific training sequences actually condition your body to react instinctively. That improves your adaptability and agility in any situation.
And they actually use the image of a rubber ball bouncing back after hitting the ground, illustrating how to pair exercises to train those muscles for that kind of repetitive spring-like motion.
It's a great visual. And the jump attack program, specifically the explosive sequences, have three main elements. First, pre-exhausting those targeted muscles. Then you've got to loosen the hips. That's crucial. And finally, specific pairings of exercises to condition the body for peak athletic performance.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting for me. The book says that 90% of physical performance actually comes from mental toughness. 90%.
It's huge. And that's where Tim Grover's concept of the cleaner athlete comes in. Someone with that relentless drive, total commitment, and the ability to push past discomfort to reach their goals.
I can see that. Those athletes who just seem to have that extra edge. Not just physically strong, but unstoppable mentally, like they're playing on a whole other level.
Exactly, and that mental fortitude allows them to perform consistently. So Jump Attack isn't just a physical training guide, it's also about building that mental game.
Now, fuel is obviously crucial, and the book seems to take a very practical approach to nutrition, emphasizing gradual, sustainable changes over those crazy restrictive diets.
Absolutely. It's all about controlling your sugar intake to keep energy levels consistent, avoiding those wild peaks and valleys that can really mess with your performance. So we're talking sustained energy for optimal output.
One thing I found interesting, maybe a little counterintuitive, is the emphasis on rest. The book really stresses that scheduled rest days aren't a sign of weakness, but are actually crucial for seeing results.
Right. It's about working smarter, not just harder. The Jump Attack program incorporates specific rest days to allow the body to recover and rebuild muscle. That way, you're able to perform at your best consistently.
Then there's the topic of injuries, something we all want to avoid. And Jump Attack actually makes a clear distinction between being hurt and injured, giving you practical advice on recognizing the difference.
So important. Knowing when something is just typical muscle soreness and when you need to see a doctor can save you a lot of trouble down the line. Plus, the book really emphasizes proper warm-up, cool down, and even the role of ice baths in recovery and injury prevention.
It's really a holistic approach to taking care of your body. We've covered a lot in this first part of our deep dive, so.
So let's actually break down the Jump Attack program itself. There are three distinct phases: fire, force, and flight. Each phase builds upon the last, progressively pushing you towards that peak performance.
Okay, I love the names. It's like we're launching a rocket or something.
Yeah.
What exactly is this fire phase all about?
Think of it as priming those muscles, getting them ready to fire on all cylinders. It's those first few weeks where you're really lengthening the muscles and teaching them to work in the proper sequence, laying that foundation for explosiveness.
I imagine this is especially crucial for, say, younger athletes who are still developing physically.
It's super important for them. You're prepping the ligaments, tendons, joints, everything for the more intense demands that come later. The fire phase is really about building stamina, mental toughness, preparing your body and mind for what's ahead.
I noticed there are a lot of isometric holds in this phase. holding those positions for a certain amount of time. It seems simple, but I bet it's a lot harder than it looks.
It's deceptively tough,
Yeah.
and that's part of the point. Holding that lunge position for 60, 90, even 120 seconds, that takes serious mental strength. It's about embracing that discomfort and pushing through it.
And that's where that whole idea of being comfortable, being uncomfortable comes into play.
Right, exactly. It's about accepting the challenge, knowing that to grow, you have to go beyond what feels easy.
All right, so we've ignited that fire, got those muscles prepped. What comes next in this athletic transformation?
The force phase. This is where we kick things up a notch. Adding weights and plyometrics into the mix to build real explosiveness. You're overloading the muscles, training them to exert more force into the ground, which is what propels you higher and faster.
Sounds intense. Can we get specific? Like,
Sure.
what kind of exercises are we talking about in this force phase?
Sure. Let's take sequence 7 as an example. It starts with glute bridges, which are essential for activating those powerful glutes.
Glutes are key for almost every athletic movement. Got to get those firing right.
Next, you move into reverse lunges, holding the position for a set time before exploding into reps. You're training those muscles to work under tension, which builds strength and power.
And where do the plyometrics come in?
Well, you've got things like seated box jumps. This particular exercise is great for working those fast twitch muscle fibers, the ones responsible for generating that explosive power.
So it's all about training your body to react quickly and efficiently, kind of like that rubber ball analogy we were talking about earlier.
Exactly. You're conditioning your muscles to work together, generating force for those repeated explosive movements.
Okay, we've ignited the fire, built the force. What's the final stage of this metamorphosis?
Flight. This is where you really take off. Heavier weights, more intense plyometrics, pushing your limits to unlock that next level of athleticism.
All right, time to fly. What does a typical workout look like in this flight phase?
Let's look at sequence 11. It kicks off with a killer combo, fire hydrants and bridge walkouts, guaranteed to really challenge your hip and glute activation.
Sounds like a recipe for sore muscles, but the good kind of sore, of course.
Oh, you'll feel it, trust me. And then we move into deadlifts, focusing on maximizing reps within a short burst of time. So it's about training those muscles to move explosively and efficiently.
It's not just lifting heavy, but moving that weight with speed and control.
Exactly. And to really test those explosive leg muscles, we bring in alternating butt kicker scissors. Combines power, agility, and coordination. Takes your athleticism up a notch.
To really end this flight phase strong, what's the ultimate plyometric challenge?
Depth jumps. This is all about taking your explosive power to a whole other level. Stepping off a platform, absorbing the impact as you land, and immediately exploding upwards, using that rebound energy to your advantage.
Intense. Bet that's super effective for developing that spring-like athleticism we've been talking about.
Game changer. For anyone wanting to increase their vertical jump and overall explosiveness, this is key.
Okay, so we've gone through the 3 phases of the jump attack program: fire, force, and flight. Each one progressively builds on the last, pushing you to reach your peak performance.
It's important to remember that it's not about any single exercise or phase. It's about the synergy of it all, that holistic approach to training. You're conditioning your muscles, your nervous system, and your mind to work as one powerful, cohesive unit.
Before we move on to the all-important rest and recovery, I want to circle back to something we touched on earlier: the mental game. Jump attack really emphasizes that mental toughness aspect of athletic performance, doesn't it?
It's a huge part of it. Athletic success isn't just about physical strength. It's about having that unwavering focus, that drive to push past your limits, and the willingness to embrace challenges.
And the book talks about this concept of the cleaner athlete. What exactly does that mean?
A cleaner athlete embodies that relentlessness, unwavering commitment, and refusal to be held back by doubt or fear. They are driven by results, period.
It's like having that inner fire, an unshakable belief in your ability to achieve your goals.
No excuses, only solutions. Always striving to be better, to be the absolute best version of themselves.
It's about cultivating that mental edge that separates you from the competition.
Exactly. That mental toughness is key to overcoming obstacles, pushing through fatigue, and reaching those seemingly impossible goals.
All right, let's talk about something essential to any training program: rest and recovery. It's not just about working hard, but working smart, right?
Couldn't agree more. Rest and recovery are absolutely essential for allowing your body to rebuild muscle tissue, repair any damage, and replenish those energy reserves.
Jump attack incorporates designated rest days. Why are those so important?
Think about it. When you're training intensely, you're breaking down muscle fibers. Those rest days give your body time to repair that damage and build new, stronger muscle fibers. It's during rest that you actually make the biggest
So it's
gains.
not about slacking off, it's a strategic part of the process.
Exactly. Ignoring rest days can actually lead to overtraining, burnout, and even injuries. You got to listen to your body and give it the time it needs to recover and adapt.
What are some good strategies for optimizing those rest days
Active recovery is key. Things like light walking, stretching, foam rolling, that kind of stuff can help boost circulation, reduce soreness, and promote relaxation.
and getting enough sleep goes without saying?
Sleep is prime recovery time. That's when your body truly repairs those muscles, replenishes energy stores, and preps you for the next workout. Aim for at least 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep each night for optimal results.
Let's talk about something no athlete wants to deal with but is always a possibility: injuries. How does Jump Attack address injury prevention and recovery?
The book stresses the importance of recognizing your body's signals, knowing the difference between being hurt, like general muscle soreness, and being injured, something that needs medical attention.
Sometimes it's tough to tell. What are some signs that you might need to see a doctor?
If you have sharp shooting pain, sudden swelling, or limited range of motion, that's when you need to get it checked out. Always better to be safe than sorry and seek advice from a professional.
And of course, proper warm-up and cool-down are always crucial.
Absolutely. Warming up preps those muscles and joints for the workout, while cooling down helps to minimize soreness and speed up recovery.
The book also mentions ice baths. Are those really that effective?
Ice baths are a fantastic tool for reducing inflammation, alleviating soreness, and accelerating recovery. They might not be the most pleasant thing in the world, but the benefits far outweigh the temporary discomfort.
Okay, so we've covered the training phases, the importance of mental toughness, the need for proper rest and recovery. But there's one crucial piece we haven't really touched on yet: fuel. How does Jump Attack approach nutrition for optimal athletic performance?
Nutrition is the foundation, the fuel that powers your workouts, supports muscle growth, and helps you recover effectively.
So it's not just about what you eat, but also when you eat it.
Bingo! Timing is key. Jump Attack advocates for a strategic approach to fueling your body throughout the day, making sure you have the energy you need when you need it.
The book recommends a 5 meals a day plan. What's the thinking behind that?
Consuming multiple smaller meals throughout the day helps to keep your energy levels stable, preventing those energy crashes that can really hurt performance. It also supports muscle protein synthesis, which is crucial for building and repairing muscle.
So it's not just about 3 traditional meals anymore.
Right, it's about spreading out your calorie and nutrient intake throughout the day, keeping that steady stream of fuel going.
In terms of specific foods, are there certain things Jump Attack recommends for maximizing athletic performance?
The book stresses a balanced approach, focusing on whole, unprocessed foods that provide a wide range of nutrients. We're talking lean proteins, complex carbohydrates, healthy fats, and lots of fruits and veggies.
So no crazy deprivation or rigid diets.
It's about making smart choices that nourish your body and support your training goals.
Are there foods athletes should specifically avoid?
Jump Attack really emphasizes controlling sugar intake. Too much sugar can cause those energy swings, weight gain, and inflammation, all things that can hinder performance.
Cutting back on sugary drinks and processed snacks is key then.
Absolutely. Stay hydrated with water, unsweetened teas, maybe a low-sugar sports drink when needed.
Now let's talk about a challenge many athletes face: weight management. How does Jump Attack address weight loss or gain in the context of athletic performance?
The book advocates for a balanced approach, stressing the importance of finding the right calorie intake for your individual needs and goals. It's not about crash dieting or anything extreme. It's about finding a sustainable way to eat that supports both your athletic performance and your overall health.
So if an athlete is looking to lose weight, what strategies does Jump Attack suggest?
It comes down to creating a calorie deficit, burning more calories than you consume. This can be achieved through a combination of dietary adjustments, like watching portion sizes and making healthier choices, along with increasing physical activity.
And what about athletes who want to gain weight, specifically muscle mass?
For muscle gain, you want to focus on a calorie surplus, taking in more calories than you burn. Combine that with a strength training program designed to stimulate muscle growth.
The book also talks about the importance of protein for building muscle.
Protein is essential. It's the building block for muscle tissue repair and growth. Jump Attack recommends getting protein with every meal and snack, especially post-workout to help with recovery and growth.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here: training phases, mental resilience, rest, recovery, nutrition. But before we wrap up this deep dive, I want to talk about something that really resonated with me. Testing and measuring your progress. How does Jump Attack approach that?
Testing and measuring your results can be valuable. You can see how far you've come, identify areas to work on, and it can help you stay motivated. But it's important to remember that numbers are only one piece of the puzzle.
The book warns against getting too fixated on those numbers. Why is that?
Obsessing over numbers can lead to frustration and discouragement, especially if you're not seeing the progress you expect. Everyone progresses at their own pace, and athletic performance is influenced by a whole bunch of factors.
So it's about looking at the bigger picture. How you feel, how you're performing, how your body's responding.
Exactly. It's about celebrating those small wins, those improvements in strength, speed, agility, things you might not see on a test, but you can feel in your overall athleticism.
The book also stresses patience and consistency. It's not about overnight transformations, but about a long-term commitment to maximizing your athletic potential.
Totally agree. Building true athleticism takes time, dedication, and a willingness to embrace the process. It's about trusting the journey, consistently putting in the work, knowing that those small efforts will add up to big results over time.
Okay, let's bring this all together. Let's say someone completes the 90-day Jump Attack program. What happens next after they reach that initial goal?
Jump Attack isn't just a 90-day program, it's a philosophy, a lifestyle. It's about incorporating those principles of training, nutrition, recovery, mental toughness into your everyday life.
So it's about maintaining that level of athleticism, continuously challenging yourself and striving for improvement.
Exactly. It's about building on that foundation, refining your skills, and adapting the program as your needs and goals evolve.
The book also encourages athletes to revisit the program even after they've completed it. What's the benefit of repeating that 90-day cycle?
Repeating the program allows you to really refine your technique, challenge your body in new ways, and break through those plateaus we all hit from time to time. It's a way to reignite that fire, that drive to keep pushing your boundaries.
Like revisiting a familiar path but finding new trails and hidden gems along the way.
Exactly. Each time you go through Jump Attack, you'll bring a new level of experience, strength, knowledge, and you'll achieve even greater results.
You know, we've been talking about the big picture stuff, phases, mindset fueling your body. But Jump Attack also digs into those little details, the things that can really make or break your results. It's kind of fascinating how much emphasis Tim Grover puts on those seemingly minor adjustments.
Oh, yeah, it's those tiny nuances that can have a huge impact on how well those muscles are firing, how efficiently you're moving, and avoiding injury. It's about getting the most out of every single exercise, maximizing your gains.
I was thinking about it like, if you've got a car and the wheels are even slightly misaligned, over time, that can lead to some major problems. It's the same with our bodies.
Yeah.
If we don't pay attention to those little details in our form, things can get out of whack.
Exactly. By focusing on those details, you're training smarter, respecting your body, and setting yourself up for success in the long run. Not just a quick fix, but a sustainable approach.
And speaking of the long game, a lot of people struggle with, like, staying motivated. Sticking with a tough program, Jump Attack, tackles that head on.
Oh yeah, motivation can be tricky. It comes and goes. So the key is developing discipline, that commitment to showing up and putting in the work even when you don't feel like it.
So it's about moving from relying on motivation, which can be fleeting, to building that solid foundation of discipline.
That's it. Discipline is what gets you out of bed for that 6 a.m. workout when you'd rather stay under the covers. It's about setting those routines, building habits that eventually become automatic.
The book also talks about embracing discomfort, pushing past those mental and physical limits. How does that play into discipline and reaching your goals?
That's where real growth happens, outside that comfort zone. When you challenge yourself, when you break through those self-imposed barriers, you build resilience, both physically and mentally. It's like proving to yourself that you're capable of more than you thought.
And I imagine that sense of accomplishment, that realization that you are stronger than you thought, that feeds back into that discipline.
100%. It creates that positive cycle. So before we wrap up this deep dive, let's go back to those 10 key takeaways we talked about. The core principles from Jump Attack that can really help anyone unlock their athletic potential.
Okay, number one, explosive athletic performance is not just about how high you can jump vertically. It's about multi-directional movement, sustained athleticism. Think beyond that single vertical leap.
Number 2, train your whole body as a single unit. Focus on that synergy between different muscle groups.
Number 3, those explosive sequences we talked about, make them your best friend. Pre-exhaust those muscles, loosen those hips, and pair those exercises strategically.
Number 4, cultivate that cleaner athlete mindset. Mental toughness is absolutely essential for reaching peak performance.
Number 5, nutrition. It's about a balanced approach. Gradual, sustainable changes. Watch that sugar intake. No crazy diets needed.
Number 6, rest is your secret weapon. Don't skip those scheduled rest days. Your muscles need time to recover and rebuild.
Number 7, warm up and cool down. Never underestimate the importance of those pre- and post-workout routines.
Number 8, embrace the ice bath. It might not be fun, but it's super effective for recovery and injury prevention.
Number 9, know the difference between being hurt and being injured. Pay attention to your body and see a doctor when you need to.
And finally, number 10, true success isn't just about the numbers. It's about how you perform in real-life athletic situations.
So there you have it. We've explored Jump Attack, a program that can help anyone at any level unlock their athletic potential. It's about more than just jumping high. It's about explosiveness, agility, resilience, both physically and mentally. The journey starts with you. Are you ready to take that leap?